What's up, everyone?
Hi guys.
It's been a
Happy
minute.
September.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It's honestly ridiculous. Like I still like can't fathom that we're already in September sometimes. And like, where did
Wow.
August go? Like it went by
hmm
so fast.
And it's so easy to look at the past 9 months and kind of sit here and say, what have I accomplished? I haven't done anything. But at the same time, and Erica and I were talking briefly about this before we started recording. And we have done so much. It's just it hasn't, I guess, manifested the way that we thought it was going to manifest, but the work that we have put in ourselves has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I recently signed up for a new program, and so did Erica. I don't know if you guys remember from last episode, that she was like, I'm not gonna invest in any program anytime soon again. And I said, be careful, because I always say that. And we always do. But
Yeah.
what do you invest on? Tell us.
So I actually haven't done it yet. I applied already and I have my call with like the person that I guess is going to do the sales call tomorrow.
Facilitator.
Yeah. So pause breathwork facilitator training. So I talked about this the last time where I did this program with Stevie Wright and it was called The Embodied Woman. And it was all about embodying the person you want to become and like how that literally can collapse time and bring what you want to yourself a lot faster. Like she's used this and a bunch of other people have used it where it's basically healing all of the limiting beliefs you have inside of you, like from trauma or just belief systems that you've taken on, like whether it be from your family or even like it can be ancestral. Like apparently I've
Mm-hmm.
heard that like you can have these belief systems just ingrained in your body that you haven't realized. And through breath work and embodiment, you're able to kind of like heal them and like release them from yourself so that you can then attract more of what you want for yourself. So for example, let's do a great topic that a lot of people I think have resistance to, and that's money. And like the whole thing about, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, or like feeling like you're not worthy of it, or feeling that rich people are, gross, or like rich people are
A lack
greedy.
mentality.
Yeah, and having that lack mentality that there's not never enough. um all of that can be part of a belief system that you have stuck in your subconscious mind that lives in your body. So what breath work does is it helps you to release that. It helps you go past your mind and into your body. And before, like when I first heard about it, Samantha Skelly, who is the like owner of Pause Breathwork and teaches all of these coaches how to do it, I remember the first time I heard her speak, she said that mindset work doesn't work. Like just
Mm-hmm.
focusing on your mindset doesn't work. And at the time I didn't really like understand what she meant. And I was even like resistant to her saying that because I was like doing like the mindset stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I've literally been able to change my outlook on life and everything just by working on my mindset. Like, she's crazy that saying it doesn't work. Until this year, I did that program, which it wasn't even because it was crazy what led me to it. It was just like my intuition just like knew. Um, and it was just because I was having a lot of issues like emotionally, and I knew that I needed to tend to my emotional health. And like with breath work and all this stuff, like that, it really teaches you how to do that too. It's about processing emotions and processing the emotions behind these stories. And um, I've been able to see in my own life that she was right. Mindset work can only get you so far, but you can tell yourself as many times as you want that I attract great abundance. But if you don't feel that in your body, if you don't feel that that is your truth, telling yourself that is not going to change it. You have to be able to release the old stories and the old belief systems that are holding you back, and they're just sitting there in your body. So that's what breath work helps you do. And I've literally been able to see the change in my own self. Um, through going through that program with Stevie. And she was also trained by Samantha Skelly through the Pause Breathwork program that I am now signing up for. And so I don't know, it's just one of those things where I feel like it's my intuition that is like leading me there. And even the first time I heard about it, I did feel like interested in it. Like I felt like I kind of wanted to sign up, but at the same time I was like, no, like for whatever reason, I talked myself out of it. So this time I'm like, okay, it's coming up again. And this time I've seen the change that it can make in myself. And I know that it's literally life-changing work. And that's what I want to do ultimately with my life is I want to change lives. Like I want to change the fucking world. Like that is my goal. And if it's like, if I have that like inner
Starts with
like,
you.
huh?
Starts with you.
Yeah, if I have, and if I want that kind of change, then, and I know that there's this modality that makes it possible because I've been able to witness it my own self, then why not? Why wouldn't I learn it? Like, why would I push it away from myself? And it comes back to like, again, my belief systems with money that I've been working on, like ever since like noticing that, because after that we had our last recording for that podcast, I like asked myself like, why do I have so much resistance to it? It's not because I can't like afford it, and thankfully I do have the ability to invest in myself again. It's just it was my belief systems around, oh, like my parents aren't gonna let me, or it's too soon. Like it was like it had to do with money and also like my parents. And I think it comes from growing up. A lot of times they never let me do what I want to do with my life. But now I'm not living that anymore. In my present moment, that's not the truth anymore. Like I'm an adult and they respect me as an adult in more ways than I think I've realized because I'm still living in the past and in those old belief systems. And so
But
that's
isn't
why,
it isn't it crazy that even when you say it out loud, because you said, I know that I can, isn't it crazy that even you say it out loud, you see the truth in it, but somehow or some way it's so ingrained in your body that subconsciously we make this, oh, I cannot afford this right now
yeah.
decision without even really thinking about it.
Yeah, you just push it away and just say, no, I just can't do this right now. Even though you have the
Yeah.
means to do it, it's just, I don't know if it's like your ego trying to protect you because it's scared to go that far.
But it's also, and going back to like having traumas and just things that come
Yeah,
from not even us, from our family, it's me at least being a minority, you don't see that a lot, like you
exactly.
investing in yourself. And I think that as an entrepreneur, or maybe the kind of entrepreneurs that you and I strive to be and that we are, we make it our point to learn about ourselves and run our business from who and what we are.
Exactly.
So that's why we like are so okay, I guess, with doing this kind of work and investing in this kind of things, because we don't want to continue doing things the way that our parents did.
Exactly. And like, that's what I want to ultimately change too. Like, especially coming from, like you said, the minority community, a lot of the times what you hear is you have to work hard if you want to be successful. And like, you have to like, you know, miss out on things like get-togethers and family things and stuff with friends because you have to be working and you have to be
Mhm.
like, that's the only way you can provide yourself a lot. And while that was, true for my dad, at least building the company that is what sustains us today. And I'm grateful for all of that work he did. Like, you don't have to do it that way. Like that was true for them. So they're going to tell you what, they're going to take for what they've lived through their own lives and give you that same advice. But once you realize it doesn't have to be that way and that making money can be easy and is
Mhm.
easy for, people to make, for you to make, then you realize, okay, I want to live differently. I want to make an abundance of money easily and not feel like I'm killing myself to make it. Um,
Mhm.
and so I guess realizing that those two different types of realities can exist because, of course, your reality is going to manifest based on what you believe about yourself and about the world. And so it's going to come out however you.
And if you think about it, that's why so many businesses fail, because we don't take the time to truly learn who we are, what we want from our business, because your business is an extension of yourself.
Mhm.
And you as a listener, I really want you to like pay attention to that. Like, why are you doing the things that you're doing? And why do you think that you cannot achieve X, Y, and Z? For Erika and me, we're finally doing this work and we're realizing that it's beyond our mindset. Like, for example, I started doing the embodied woman because of Erika. She was like, you have to do it. So I started. And while doing the breath work, I noticed that some of my limiting beliefs, I feel them in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just literally cannot explain why certain things are not, quote unquote, working for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much deeper. So you as a listener, if you're running a business, if you're thinking about it, it's just more than just, oh, where am I going to get the customers or the clients, or how am I going to figure this out? You need to figure out your own mind
Mm-hmm.
first. That would help so much.
Mm-hmm.
So much in this journey.
Yeah, it's really crazy, I think. Like I feel like it's hard to explain how life-changing this work is to whenever you haven't gone through it yourself. Like to
Because
our listeners, for example, if y'all have never
it sounds very woo-woo.
yeah, this sounds very like hard to grasp, but when you actually experience it, you're like, wow, like this is crazy. And like, it
Or I didn't know
happened.
I was holding on to that, or I
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
didn't
that
know that
that
was
was in my
there.
mind.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
that came up a lot for me just throughout the program with Stevie. And like even nowadays, like ever since going through that program, I'm so much more aware of myself now. And I can tell when I have resistance to something or there's resistance in my body. And it's just like, okay, what, where is this coming from? Like, why? And, like it's just such a different way to like live just in general. And it's just like, I was never this self-aware before. Like I had awareness before I did this program, but now it's so
Not
much
that deep.
deeper. Yeah, it's like so much deeper. And I can like notice the smallest little like change. And I'm like, okay, like where is this coming from? And like I can just silence myself and let my like inner child, I guess, come forth and be like, okay, this is what's happening. And then I can then work with that to release it. And it's it's crazy. And it's something that I want to be able to help others realize for themselves that, we are each our own healer. And all I am is the facilitator for it. But,
Yeah.
the person doing the work is the person going through it. So, and that's
And it's
like,
okay to seek for help, and it's okay to be coached and guided.
oh, for sure. Like, it's changed my life, investing in myself and finding these mentors and learning these things because I see the way it's like changed my own life. And I know like there's so many people who don't realize that how much of a difference, it can make. Like for me, it started with going to therapy when I was 21 years old. And through that experience, I began my own self-love journey. And down that journey came like the whole thing about getting like learning more about myself and how to step up to be a speaker, I guess, and like start a business and that sort of thing. And I feel like once you get on that path of self-growth, you realize you never stop growing and you kind of get addicted to it, I think. Like I'm constantly in pursuit of bettering myself. And I don't know, it's a different kind of life. It's a different kind of way to be compared to the majority of people who just, you know, live life kind of like on not on standby, on repeat. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say,
Like
but like
routinely
yeah, like just in a repetitive
repeating
cycle.
cycles.
Yeah, and then they don't even realize their life is going by and there's just things that
But I think it goes back to what we were talking about last episode, um, regarding to that other thing that Stevie did with the quantum
mhm,
manifestation thing. I think it was that she was mentioning how we manifest these coaches and these programs and these people because the healer in us or the highest self in us is wants to relearn it.
mm, wants
You
to
know
be
what I mean?
reminded of
So
it. Yeah.
I think in this case of what you're saying, those people that live in their routine, they're not taking a second to observe
Mm-hmm.
what it is that they're, bringing
Yeah.
forward in this reality.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to point fingers and say, oh, I hate my job and I hate this and everything is wrong, but they're not taking a second to have that awareness
Yeah. And take
and
that
see, why did I
responsibility.
manifest this? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's another thing that we can struggle with is like taking responsibility for our own lives, and blaming everybody but yourself is not going to get you anywhere. It's going to keep you where you're at. And until you can take that responsibility and be like, okay, I'm literally the only person who has made these decisions to get this job, to live the way I do, to have the routine I have, and all of this, once you realize that you are who created all of that just by your own decisions, then I feel like that's when you can really start to change and, create something different for yourself, because you take that full responsibility and you say, okay, this is not how I want to live, and this is what I want instead. So then you start taking the steps to get there, because you realize you're only responsible for yourself, and for your own life in that sense.
One
So
thing that changed my life, and I just heard this, I think it was yesterday or before yesterday. Stevie was doing like a little breath work and I had a lot of resistance. And she said, stay. She wasn't just talking to me, but I took it as it was for me. She
mm-hmm,
said, stay. How you do one thing, it's how you do everything.
mm-hmm,
And for some reason, that quote has stuck with me, or that phrase has stuck with me because it's so true. And I noticed that with my business, even here, I've said how I want to do something different and I want to do something else, And I had like a self-realization yesterday. I was like, I wonder if that's just me having resistance or escaping from like deeper work that I have to do. Because it's so much easier for the body or the mind to say, okay, I'm done here.
yeah,
What's next?
mm-hmm,
And be uncomfortable, or
yeah,
like just not wanting to be uncomfortable. So when she said how you do one thing is how you do everything else, I'm like, oh my God. I guess I could see that everywhere in my life. So
yeah,
it's working with the resistance when it comes to my own body, when it comes to my own breath, and then using that to see how I'm functioning in my business, in my everyday life, in my friendships, how I'm showing up
mm-hmm,
in every aspect. It
yeah,
was really mind blowing for me.
yeah, that is crazy. That's true. I mean, now that you say that, I like kind of start thinking about it, like, how am I, because I feel like,
Resisting.
yeah, or like, how am I different in certain aspects? Because like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like whenever you do things like that, you can kind of see the where you are not pushing yourself to that full potential, where you're kind of
Mhm,
hanging back.
mhm. And I could see my life where I do that. And something that I started practicing after I invested in this program was asking myself, if money wasn't an issue, will you do it?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes. Yeah.
I
Every
feel
time
like,
I have to invest in myself.
yeah.
So I have to, like, I make myself believe that the money would appear. And you know what? Something super crazy. The day after I decided to sign up for Stevie, I got some tax return, and mine has been months since the whole tax season happened. I got some tax return with the same amount of money that I gave Stevie my first payment. And I was like, okay, universe, thanks.
That's crazy.
I get it. Hmm.
Yeah, no, yeah, literally. And like I've been really like focusing on my money mindset since like I was like since that podcast episode, when I talked to you about wanting to do this, but I was resistant because of the money. And so I really like started sitting with myself. I'm like, okay, I feel like I've been able to work through like other things, and like now I think the next thing I really want to tackle is just like my relationship with money, because I feel like once you can like get past that and open yourself up to the abundance that the universe wants to give you, then that's when you can start receiving it. Like
Hmm.
I saw this, I reposted it. That that one account on Instagram called Manifestation Babe.
Hmm.
I love her posts, and
I
so
follow.
Yeah, she like said like you can't want all this money and like have this thing and then have like those underlying beliefs that are resistant to it. It was like something about that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and I went through like she had a few slides and I was like, this is so true. And this is literally like what I'm like working through right now. And it's just like about changing that whole belief system. And so I don't know where I was going with this. I kind of just blanked out. Oh,
It's changing that belief system and just changing just everything around it too. And not only when it comes to yourself, but when it comes to you talking to other people.
mhm,
Because you cannot say, oh, I believe that money is abundant, and then look at someone weird if they do something that you think it's a lot of money for them.
mhm,
Or look at this person wasting their money. You cannot have that mentality with anybody or money in general, because how you do one thing or how you speak about one thing shows up in your life.
mhm,
So it's just constantly practicing that. And it's insane because we went to Pace to Be Brave 2019, I think it was.
mhm.
And that same year, I did a money mindset
Yeah.
course
Yeah.
with Allison Bird, and I loved it. And I was thinking to myself, it's crazy how ever since 2019, I've been working on my money mindset. And still to this day, almost 2022, I'm still discovering new thoughts that I have about it.
Mhm.
So don't ever feel like you're done. Just because one day you say, oh, money's everywhere, money's abundant. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. You constantly have to walk the talk.
Yeah, literally.
Like Erica and I investing in when I use the word investing is because trust me, we have invested a chunk of fucking money. It's so much. Like we don't even want to tell you.
I'm not
But
gonna
if
tell
we
you.
didn't truly, yeah, never. But if we didn't truly believe that it was life changing, it wouldn't change our lives.
Yeah, that's true. And that's like exactly
And
the
we'll be stuck in the mentality before 2019.
and that's the mentality I went with when I signed up for Stevie's program. You know, I was just like, you know what? Like the amount of money I see on this, like the ticket price is like the amount of it just like kind of shows the amount of transformation that's going to happen
Mhm.
and like trusting that, you know, my life is going to be completely different on the other side of this. And I literally went into the program with that intention and it's exactly what happened.
Something interesting that happened to me, and hopefully this isn't a hot moment for a lot of people. Um, I was having this conversation with my partner about like, oh, me investing in this, da, da, da. And he goes, how come when it comes to investing in another woman, you can pay whatever, but when it comes to pricing yourself,
Ooh.
like it just, I was like, holy shit, like it was such a big revelation for me. And he
Mhm.
was like, and I'm just telling you this because I want you to see your worth. It's very easy for you to see their worth in other people, but when it comes to you, you don't see it. And you have years investing in yourself, you have years of knowledge, and you don't want to charge more.
That's crazy.
So me, and I'm telling you guys this because it's so true. If you're willing and you're investing in other people and you're doing all this thing, why can other people do the same for you?
Hmm.
You're valuable, you're worthy.
I
So
love that.
that's one of the things that I'm working on myself lately. It's my sense of worthiness.
Hmm.
And that has been
Wow.
huge.
That's crazy. I love that. And that's so true. Like
I was like, holy
now that,
shit, how that's like for real.
yeah, now that you say that, it's just like, dang, like it makes
I'm here
me
wanting to
do that
price things
too.
very cheap because I want to help others, but I'm not in any other better place than anybody else, and I'm making the sacrifice, and I'll look for it. So how come other people wanting to improve their lives, why can't they invest in me and the help that I'm going to give them?
Hmm.
So that just goes for me to believe that I am worthy of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I've been like kind of like thinking about it in the way that, you know, there's different people for different like offers in a way. So,
Yep.
and
Like
understand,
different cars for different people, different
yeah,
brands for different
and
people.
like trusting that the universe is going to send you the people who are willing
To
and
buy
are,
a Tesla instead of like
yeah, and
a
are
bike.
willing to invest the amount of money that you charge, no matter how much it is. because it's just like they're at that place. It's gonna send you the right people, and it's just like, something like there's people who, are ready to invest 1K, and like there's someone to offer that service to them. And then there's people like Tony Robbins who are, or there's people who are ready to invest 100K. And Tony Robbins is a person who
They go
charges
to.
that. Yeah. And that's who they go to. And that's what happens. And like, I thought about it too last night when I had that call or webinar with Samantha Skelly, because that's what she was talking about. She was like, she told us like the price for the pause breathwork. And she was like, like, she's like, I know it's scary. And she told us about how, she was like, but she was saying how like, when your intuition is calling you to it, then you just have to trust that the universe is going to support you, and it's going to figure it out for you. Like it's all going to fall into place, and you're going to be okay, and you're going to be able to make this investment. And she gave us that example, and she was like, she went to this like weekend thing, I think, with Tony Robbins, and it was like, he was like offering a mentorship or program type of thing, like a mastermind, I think it was a year-long mastermind or something like that. And she was like, and the price was $100,000. And she was saying how like she was terrified, and like not terrified. She said she was shaking because she was so nervous, but she knew, like, she just felt in her body that that was meant for her. And she was like, I knew like this is for me. But of course, she was like, I was feeling the nerves and I was shaking and everything. And so she was like saying, like, giving that example. And that's when I thought, I was like, that's literally insane. Like, there's people like us who are afraid to charge, like, let's say,
$200.
yeah, like $1,000 or $2,000. And there's people like Tony freaking Robbins charging $100,000 and getting multiple people that pay him that. And it's
Because
just
they
like,
believe in him.
exactly. And it's just like, and I think it also comes down to how we believe and think about ourselves, and that whole worthiness point. Tony Robbins knows that, like, believes in himself and knows he can help these people and knows he has that sense of worth. And so that's why people give him that money. And so once we can do that for ourselves, we can charge like however much we feel, is our, like, shows our value.
Price.
Yeah. And like, coming back to
Something
that,
that we're gonna be comfortable, not comfortable enough, but like happy enough to deliver what we know. Because I'm definitely guilty of over delivering and
mm,
undercharging, and then getting to a point where I'm burned out and I hate what I'm doing.
mm,
And that's one of the things that makes me want to be like, okay, I need to do something else.
yeah.
But it's just because I am now putting the work to believe that I'm worthy to
Mhm.
charge what I know, what I'm worth.
Yeah.
To all of this, like even if you're doing something that right now you don't see like the point per se, or you're not seeing results right away, look at it as an investment that would also tell the universe, I'm also ready to receive clients this way, to
Yeah.
receive clients that are willing to pay me this amount of money,
Yeah.
that are willing to invest in themselves, just like I'm investing in myself.
Exactly. Because I think a lot of times, like, we can be afraid and be like, oh, no one's going to pay me this, or no one's going to want to pay this price. And it's just like, you're blocking your own blessings at that point, because you're believing that. And so that's exactly what's going to show up in your reality. But if you trust and believe, like, there's people out there who are ready to invest this amount in themselves because they're ready for this next level of transformation, and you, like, live from that point, then that's exactly what's going to be given to you. Like, the universe is going to send those people your way. And
And
like,
one time, actually, like 3 years ago, someone told me that I was doing like, I think it was like a fitness program for like $30. It was so cheap.
wow.
And this girl was like, honestly, I don't want to get it because it's too cheap, and it makes me feel like I'm not gonna get enough out of it. And I had put so much work, and I remember clearly thinking to myself, well, even if something's priced less because you're trying to help people, people are not gonna see the value.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, you better freaking price it the way that you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever's aligned with that, and you have to trust that are people that are aligned with that, they'll pay.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
It's crazy. Like it's literally insane how it all works. And I believe it because like it happens like I don't know, like I can see that with how it, like I signed up for Stevie's thing. Like I've talked about it before, like I knew of her, but I hadn't seen her post on Instagram in months. I hadn't really been keeping up with her at all. And then all of a sudden I
She
started
manifested you.
yeah, she manifested me and I manifested her because I was like, you know what? I really need to focus on my emotional health right now. Like I was in a really bad place in April. Oh my gosh.
I
And
remember.
and then she just popped up out of nowhere and something in me just drew me to her. And I was like, and I just knew. Like it's one of those like
She's so
intuitive
sweet.
things. I just knew like
Yeah.
this is what I need right now. And it literally changed my life.
And you
And
told me
it's
you were like, it's gonna change your life.
yes, it literally like literally
Erika, guys, Erika yelled at me. She capitalized everything.
did I? I
Yeah,
was
you capitalized. You were like, it changed my life.
like it did. Like I can't not explain. I don't think I can explain in words the amount of transformation I that happened inside myself going through that. And because of that, I know my external world is changing too. Because like just like the way she explained it, like and how you see it everywhere saying that like you'll see like memes or posts and it's just like if you want your external world to change, you have to change the internal one first. And that is so true. And it's just like I don't know. I just feel like everything is going to be so different for me moving forward because I finally understand how to, I guess, get out of my own way. Like, I thought I knew how to do that before. No. Now I think I actually know, like, I know how to do it.
Right.
Like, I have something to help me actually do that for myself.
But you know what's crazy, Erika? Now that you say that, and yesterday also, yes, a lot of aha moments now that I think about it. So I follow this other woman. I think her handle is sacral something, sacral secret, sacral something.
Mm.
And lately, she's also talking a lot about like the quantum holograms. Like a lot of the women that I follow are talking about the same shit. And I'm like, yesterday, I was like, am I? Is it my highest self putting all of this in front of me for like a reason? Like you said, like out of nowhere, Stevie like popped up in your thing, and out of nowhere, I'm getting like all these stories that are very similar. And I'm like, and a lot of like spiritual women running businesses. And I'm like, is this a sign? I took it as a sign because this I was like, either the algorithm really knows me or there is really an algorithm in the universe.
No, for real.
And that's how the shit is. And she was talking about like how to look at your social media as if it was an avatar of your life. And let's say that you're a business owner. You want to look at it as like, okay, this is my business, let's say. How does she look like? If you wanted to name it or she. What is your like if you need to feed your business or give her some water, or how does she look like on social media or whatever, like and talking like that. And I'm like, wow, that is so interesting how we attract or we get to see and hear what we really need to see and hear
Mm-hmm. No, it's
in the
crazy.
people and the people that needs to tell us that. Because one thing that drew me to Stevie and Samantha, I love Samantha.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
And
I love
when I met Samantha in Pace to Be Brave, before I even knew that she was gonna give breathwork, I was in the hallway and I was crying because of something that had happened in Pace to Be Brave.
oh,
And I saw her and she hugged me.
wow.
And I was like, I love her. I don't know who this girl is, but I love her. And it's crazy how you would connect with people way before, like something would happen way before anything. And Stevie that day in Pace to Be Brave, she sang on stage. And I remember her voice being very like edge in me for some reason. So even now hearing her doing like our our Zoom meetings, she's so soothing. And there's something about her that draws me to her because she speaks to like my soul, not just me. And
Yeah.
Samantha too, they have something that they speak to like something in you. Like I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah. It's like she knows exactly what to say. Like literally you're gonna witness it as you go through it. Like she's just connected. Like she will, I
Yeah,
don't know
I'm
if you,
telling you, when she was like, stay, I know you experienced it, and I knew it wasn't to me, but it was. And I was like, what does she know that I was about to exit this?
yeah. Yeah, no, she like gets like she like channels messages or something, because I don't know if you've noticed, like she will, if like if she's working with someone, like you know how she'll ask if anybody's like dealing with something, or they want to like talk through something. Because I noticed it like almost all the time, or like even when she would work with me, and like you tell her what you're like kind of like dealing with, and then she'll close her eyes and she'll just like feel into it, and then she'll be like, yeah, it's what it feels like. She's like, let me know if this is true. She's like, it feels like this, and she'll explain it, and always, like
It was
always,
right.
it was right. And I would be like, yes, like oh my gosh, yes. And like it's so crazy, like just pay attention, you'll see it,
But you
and
know what's crazy?
that's insane.
That my clients have told me that I do that to them, especially when I was doing the live workouts. They're like,
Mm,
how come you're saying exactly what I need to think? And every time I would do those live workouts, I would ground myself and I would ask God or the universe. I will usually say God, even though I don't have a relationship with him. But I would say, God, please let me give these women exactly what they need. And I will say things, and yo, I still have this video that I remember. I was like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but for some reason, and I just started talking, and two women hit me up, and they were like, I needed to hear that. They were like, I don't know how the fuck you did that, but I needed to hear. I was like, it just went through me.
that's
So,
crazy.
so I feel like we do have that connection, but because we make it intentional,
Exactly, that makes sense.
because we make it intentional, and we want to literally change people's lives.
Literally, like that's what I want to do, and that's why I'm signing up for this. And like how you were saying about like synchronicities and things to show up. So yesterday, right after I signed up, like I applied, and I set the phone call date. I I opened Instagram, and like this came up, and it said
My number.
777. And it said, yeah, and it said, you're going to have so much success in every area of your life before this year is over. Just watch how quickly
Ooh,
things turn around for you. There's going to be a lot of celebrations. And I
I
was
love
like,
that.
holy shit. Like, if
I
that's
love
not a
that.
sign, I don't know what is. And I literally been seeing 777 everywhere. I literally saw it 3 times yesterday. You said yesterday, the day before, 3 times. And I was like,
I'm seeing 222 lately a lot,
I see that one too a lot.
like everywhere, everywhere. It's kind of creepy.
It gets me
Um,
excited though, because I don't know. It's just like I feel like it's confirmation that,
I wasn't gonna mention this here, but I'm just gonna mention it because when this happens, I'm gonna refer back to this episode so people know that we're manifesting this. So Erica and I also wanna be part of this mastermind with this other
oh,
woman that we follow.
Amanda.
And the reason why I mentioned this here, Erica, because I was gonna tell you, it's interesting how we didn't apply for her mastermind, which was less money. So we were scared of applying for a mastermind, thinking that it was gonna be a lot of money, but it's less money than what we are currently doing.
Mm.
But I just feel for some reason that we need this first.
No, literally, like whenever you were like mentioning it, and like she was starting, I already knew. I was like, it's not my time yet. Like I'm not ready for her. Yeah, like I just knew. It's just like this is not my time to invest in her just yet. Like I know I am going to invest in her, and like we're gonna be in that mastermind, but I just knew like this is not my time right now. Like I felt like I need to do pause first, and
This
like
first. Mhm.
I don't know, just it's weird how you
But
just
you know what it is also? They're very different. But what I realized is that hers, and I don't even want to mention it, but it doesn't really matter. Amanda's, it's very like business inclined.
Mhm.
And right now what we are doing is more like healing inclined.
Yeah, more healing and self work than business.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like we're not ready in that sense
Mhm.
that we it's just work. And we know that Amanda will make us do the work, but it will be different.
Yeah, like I feel like even though she does like have the spiritual healing stuff kind of like intertwined with the business stuff, I feel like the focus is still mainly business. And so it's just like I just feel like healing wise, you wouldn't heal as much because it's a business mastermind
It's
before.
more business.
Yeah.
And I wanted to mention that because if you guys are you listening to this and you're going through the same thing and you don't know like who should I invest my money in, like what should I do or whatever, start figuring out what you need, not just your business, but what is it that you need to learn? What do you think it's keeping you it's holding you back? Because with me, I know for sure it's not really the business structure. It's my mind.
Yeah.
It's my worthiness.
Yourself.
Everything else. You just spent a whole year doing copywriting and doing that. You know what to do.
I knew like, yeah, I know how
We know the fucking word.
it's just like, but I don't want to do it doing something I don't love and feel like I'm actually making a difference in the world. Like
Exactly. And you would never know that if you didn't
hadn't gone through it.
tap into what you didn't know you needed.
Exactly.
Because you didn't even know you needed the breathwork. I didn't even know either.
Mm-mm.
And it's crazy because I'm having a lot of resistance. I got this earlier. I'm having so much resistance to it, but for some reason I still know this is what I need. It's so crazy. Like it's like when you, and I always compare this to a fitness journey, but in a fitness journey you're always uncomfortable, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable. You're like sore, you're in pain, you're eating shit that you don't want to eat. It's just uncomfortable. And you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? But you deep down know that is the best shit you've ever done for yourself. And this is how that feels.
Literally. Yep. I'm so excited for you because this is just the beginning. And like literally.
Trust me, I know. I didn't even do the first homework. I did the second one, but I'm like, fuck.
No, yeah.
I love it.
It's great. And I think she like talks about how like you are in charge of your own healing like process and how quickly you do it. Because at least with my cohort, a lot of times it came up that like different women felt like they were falling behind or they would feel shame because they didn't do the homework that week and that kind of thing. And she would always be like, literally, it's okay. She's like,
you're on your own time. Yeah, there was a girl today. She was like, oh my God, it's been 2 weeks. I didn't even know we had a group chat. I'm so behind. And Sadie was like, you're going at your own pace.
She's literally just like, she's so like calm and like
OD. OD. I'm like a lot. OD.
Oh yeah, literally. And it's just like, bro, like I don't know, she's like she's just floating. Like it's so hard to like describe. And I'm like, dude, like if she can like transform herself that much from whenever we met her in 2019, like she's completely different. Like
a whole different person.
She did not come off the way she does now back then.
Now she's like, to me now she comes an angel.
Yes, what I was literally about to say. It's like
right?
She's an angel on earth. Like,
and before she was not a fucking angel on earth.
No, she didn't have
not judging it.
Energy. And it's just like, bro, she can change that much in that short span of time.
And you see, Amanda doesn't have that energy.
No.
Stevie does. She calms me down.
Yeah, she literally makes you feel so safe.
I know.
It's just like she feels
like it's scary.
It's like
I'm right here with you.
Yeah, it's just insane. I know, she's literally like incredible, and I'm just like, I want to do that for people. Like I feel like I don't know if I'm not there yet. I'm not floating like she is, but like
you will.
I feel like I can still be there. Like I don't know. I just feel very. I don't know. Just something's calling me to this, and I'm like, I'm just going with the flow, and I'm not.
How long is the breathwork thing?
6 months. 6
months. Wow.
And like she was talking about that last night. She's like, I don't want to make mediocre coaches. She's like, people like tell me, like ask me why is pause so long. She's like, that's because we go deep and we go in depth because I want to make masterful coaches, not mediocre ones. She's like, that's why it's this long. I was like, dang. Yeah. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I love her. I think it's gonna change her life. Actually, no, I know it's gonna change your life.
It's literally going to change everything, and I'm like so excited. She was literally saying, she was like, yeah,
She's
like,
another angel on earth. She's another
mhm.
angel.
And she's like, the majority of our facilitators make back their investment before we're even done.
I
Before
believe that.
I believe it too. I'm like, that's literally gonna be me. Like, I'm so done with my own BS of like resisting my own like.
Look, Stevie learned from her.
Exactly, she learned from her,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm like, I need to do this.
Mhm.
Like I know what my intention is with what I want to do with my life. Like, I literally said I literally want to change the world. Like, I used to like be afraid to say that. Now I'm just like, no, like that's my truth. And she literally said that too yesterday. She was like, this is only for you if like you want to change the world, and like you have this kind of like
Calling.
mentality of it. Yeah, like goal and that sort of thing. There was something else that I forgot, and I was like, that's literally me. Like, I don't like shy away from saying it anymore. Like, I just have this feeling and inner knowing, like I
You've
just,
told me this before, but now with this certainty.
yeah. And I feel like because now I finally found the thing that I know I can do that with. Like, you can
The
only,
tool.
yeah, the tool that literally changes lives. Like, I'm just so excited.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. And I hope that you, as a listener, you not only get inspired by this, but also motivated to seek change for yourself
Yeah.
and to dig very deep and focus on literally your growth. And I'm not telling you, go apply to coaches and do this and do that, but just be more interested in why you do the things that you do
Mm-hmm.
and why you are attracted to the things that you're attracted to.
Yeah.
Because mine started with Pace to Be Brave,
Yeah.
sort of like around that time. But I was like, okay, I need to start doing this because this is what I want to do. I
Yeah.
want to be able to get on stage. I want to be able to talk to a lot of women. I want to change lives.
I'm
But
literally like, I'm
it
gonna,
has started with me.
yeah.
It had to start with me.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to have that retreat.
I know. It's, you know
Manifesting.
what's crazy? That today, oh my God, it's so weird. Today I was looking, one of my clients sent me, she was like, I haven't really heard you talk about this for a while, but I saw this place and it was a retreat in the Dominican Republic, a place that they have like tree houses,
Wow.
and that's what they do. They do like retreats. So this morning I emailed them. I was like, so just out of curiosity, how much would it be for a group of like 15, 20 women? Maybe I'll bring my own chef because they provide 3 meals. I was like, I'll bring my own chef because I know a few women in DR. Like one is like a holistic plant-based chef, which
Oh,
I would love for her to like cook for us.
absolutely.
I know over there someone who does yoga. You can facilitate a breath work for us.
Absolutely. Like, that's literally
We
like,
have we have a sex therapist slash doula. Like, yeah.
let's fucking do it.
Yeah,
We're
we're gonna do it.
manifesting it. We're manifesting it. It's already happened. It's done.
Everything in my body tying up, especially because I have so many women that want to be part of this and
Oh
want
my
to do
God.
this, and I'm like, oh, fucking go.
Let's do it. I'm so excited.
I should start a group chat. I'm
Yeah,
gonna start a group chat.
we should. We
Yeah.
should getting to know each other and like literally hold the vision together until it manifests.
Yes.
I'm
You better
excited.
go if you're listening. You better freaking be
You
here.
better show up. Like, it's gonna be amazing.
It is gonna be amazing, and we're literally. And I hope you know that we're getting ready for you. Like it hasn't happened because we're learning so much, and
Yep.
we're learning how to hold the container to
Yeah.
be able to make this happen.
Yes.
Trust me, it's takes a lot of energy and everything for someone to pull this up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm so excited. Like, it's happening. It's happening. Like,
It is.
next year, it's happening. Like,
Yeah, 2022.
it's
That's
literally,
it.
I'm pumped.
I want to tell the group chat right now. All right, before we get too crazy, what are we leaving our listeners with this week or on this episode?
Okay. I think I got it. Follow your intuition. Just always,
Ooh, I
if you
love that.
have like, if you know that you're feeling called to do something or to whether it be to invest in something, to go down a different path, to pursue a different career. Like, if you constantly find yourself being called to that, or like reminded of it in different things, but you have certain resistance to it, and just know that the resistance is just are just those probably old belief systems and the ego trying to keep you safe, quote unquote safe.
Mhm.
And it's just your fear that's trying to get in the way. But if it keeps coming up and popping up, and you have this like feeling, like, and that's what Sam has said, like, the language of intuition is just like a knowing. It's like, it's not like, like your thoughts or something. It's just like a feeling in your body, or just like a knowing that this is what's meant for you. Go after it, because it will never lead you astray. Like, it's literally like leading you exactly where you're meant to be and who you're meant to
Love
be.
that.
So yeah.
Love that so much. Mine would be, I guess mine, I have so many, but I guess mine would be, don't be so hard on yourself. And I mean that because along your journey, and as you have more self-awareness, you're going to learn things about yourself and discover things about yourself that you're not going to like. You're going to be very disappointed at how you have done things, or just disappointed in general, but don't stay there. Know that whatever had happened, it came from a place of really not knowing,
Mhm.
and things have happened the way that they were supposed to. And now that you know better, you do better. But we don't stay stuck in, I should have done this, or maybe if that. What happened already happened. And what can you do to make things better now? And how can you, with what you know now, how can you improve your life?
Yeah, very true.
And just stay tuned with all the amazing fucking things that Erika and I would manifest. That's all I want to say.
Stay freaking up to date with us.
Yes,
And let it be,
because yeah,
just like, also just let it be an inspiration to you. And like, you're literally hearing us just like talk about this now, and then once you see it manifest, you're gonna be like, wow, they
how do they
literally,
do that?
yeah, how did they do that? They literally spoke it into existence. Like, let it be an inspiration to you, and to show you that if it's possible for us to do something like that, it's possible for you to do it also.
Mhm. And thank you always for listening to us. Let us know if you like the episode. Let us know if you feel in the same boat. If you have any topics that you would like us to talk about, just, I don't know, share away. We're
Yeah,
here to listen.
be open with us. We would like open communication.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.